Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, your ultimate guide to the world of cognitive enhancers. I'm your host, Mattis, always thrilled to bring you the latest insights and honest reviews about the nootropics we all love to explore. If you're new here, our channel is all about understanding and optimizing our brain's potential using nootropics. We discuss everything from the basics for beginners, in-depth reviews, to the latest research and findings in the field. So if you're interested in boosting your cognitive performance and mental well-being, you've come to the right place. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell so you never miss an update from us. Today, we're diving into a fascinating topic that many of you have asked about, Adrafinil. Let's get started. Adrafinil, you've likely heard this name popping up more and more in nootropic circles, and for good reason. But what is it exactly? Well, Adrafinil is a powerful synthetic nootropic that serves as a central nervous system stimulant. Originally developed in France in the late 1970s, Adrafinil is most commonly known for promoting alertness, wakefulness, and overall mental clarity. It's particularly interesting because it's a prodrug for modafinil, which means it converts into modafinil in your body, providing similar effects. But it's not just about staying awake and alert. Users of Adrafinil often report enhanced focus, improved cognitive function, and sometimes even a boost in mood. Sounds pretty exciting, right? Throughout this video, we'll go over the ins and outs of Adrafinil, its benefits, potential side effects, and my personal experience with it. So, if you're interested in learning more about this fascinating nootropic, stick around, this video is for you. Now, you might be asking yourself, why do I need to know about Adrafinil? What makes it different from other nootropics? These are great questions. The world of nootropics is vast and complex, with many different substances that can affect the brain in various ways. What makes Adrafinil stand out, though, is its unique combination of effects and benefits. As we mentioned earlier, Adrafinil is a stimulant that promotes wakefulness and alertness. But it doesn't stop there. It can also improve cognitive performance, memory, focus, and even mood. That makes it a potentially versatile tool for people in a variety of situations, whether you're a student looking to improve your studying efficiency, a worker needing to stay alert during long shifts, or just someone interested in enhancing your cognitive abilities. Understanding Adrafinil and its benefits can help you make an informed decision about whether or not this nootropic might be a good fit for your lifestyle and goals. It's all about empowering you to take control of your cognitive health and well-being. But before we dive deeper into Adrafinil, I want to emphasize that while we're going to talk about its potential benefits, it's important to approach any new supplement with caution. Every person is different, and just because a substance has certain benefits doesn't mean it's the right fit for everyone. Always consult with the healthcare provider before starting any new supplement regimen. Now, alright, let's jump into our time machine and travel back to the 1970s. It was during this time, in the beautiful country of France, that Adrafinil was first discovered and developed. The pharmaceutical company Lafon Laboratories, specifically, was behind its creation. They were looking for a way to combat sleepiness and fatigue without the negative side effects often associated with traditional stimulants. Adrafinil was born out of this quest, a new kind of stimulant that could increase alertness and wakefulness without causing the jitters or a crash later in the day. It quickly caught the attention of the medical community and was used to treat conditions like narcolepsy, where individuals have difficulty staying awake. It's interesting to note that Adrafinil is a prodrug for modafinil, which means it metabolizes into modafinil in the body. Many of you have probably heard of modafinil, another popular nootropic known for its ability to promote wakefulness and enhance cognition. But the benefits of Adrafinil don't stop there, which we'll dive into in our next segment. So that's a bit of history about Adrafinil. From the labs in France to the brains of nootropic enthusiasts around the world, it has certainly made a mark in the realm of cognitive enhancers. Now that we have some background information, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. How does Adrafinil actually work and what effects does it have on our brain? This is where things get really interesting. When you take Adrafinil, it doesn't immediately act on your brain. Instead, it's metabolized in your liver into its active form, modafinil. This process can take about an hour, so don't be surprised if you don't feel the effects instantly. Once metabolized into modafinil, Adrafinil starts to work its magic. It's believed to increase the release of a neurotransmitter called hypocretin, which is responsible for wakefulness and alertness. An increase in hypocretin leads to increased production of other important neurotransmitters including dopamine, norepinephrine, and histamine, all of which play crucial roles in maintaining alertness, attention, and cognitive function. What's particularly fascinating about Adrafinil is that unlike traditional stimulants, it doesn't seem to work by simply increasing overall brain activity. Instead, it appears to selectively stimulate the areas of the brain responsible for wakefulness and attention. This might be why users often report feeling alert and focused without the jitters or other uncomfortable side effects associated with substances like caffeine. So, in a nutshell, Adrafinil works by being converted into modafinil in your body, which then increases the levels of certain neurotransmitters in your brain, enhancing wakefulness, focus, and cognition. It's a pretty neat process, and it's part of what makes Adrafinil such a unique and compelling nootropic. But let's now move on to what really matters, the benefits that all these effects can bring. One of the most compelling reasons people turn to Adrafinil is for its cognitive benefits. And trust me, it's not just hype, scientific studies back these claims too. So, let's talk about how Adrafinil can give your brain a major boost. First up, we have improved alertness and wakefulness. Adrafinil really shines in this department. The increased production of neurotransmitters like dopamine, norepinephrine, and histamine, as I mentioned before, helps to keep your brain alert and awake. So if you're pulling an all-nighter for work or studies, Adrafinil can help you stay focused and keep that mental fog at bay. Next, we have enhanced cognition. By cognition, we mean processes like memory, learning, understanding, decision-making, and problem-solving. The great thing about Adrafinil is that it not only helps you stay awake, but also ensures that your brain is operating at its peak during this time. Whether you're studying for an exam, working on a complex project, or just trying to improve your day-to-day mental performance, Adrafinil can give you that cognitive edge. Last but not least, we have mood enhancement. While this is a more subtle effect and may not be experienced by all users, some people do report a boost in their mood and a reduction in stress levels while using Adrafinil. This can be especially beneficial if you're working or studying under high pressure or stress. So as you can see, Adrafinil's cognitive benefits are comprehensive, providing not just improved wakefulness, but also enhanced cognition and potentially even mood enhancement. It's truly a multifaceted tool for those seeking to optimize their mental performance. Now that we've explored the overall cognitive benefits of Adrafinil, let's hone in on how it might help with specific conditions. Remember, this is not medical advice, and you should always consult with a healthcare provider before beginning any new treatment regimen. First up is narcolepsy, a condition that causes excessive daytime sleepiness. Adrafinil has been used historically to treat narcolepsy because of its ability to promote wakefulness and alertness. By increasing the release of hypocretin, a neurotransmitter that regulates wakefulness, Adrafinil can help those with narcolepsy maintain a more regular awake sleep cycle. Adrafinil might also be beneficial for those with attention deficit hyperactivity disorder or ADHD. People with ADHD often struggle with maintaining attention and focus. Given that Adrafinil is known to enhance cognition and increase focus, it could potentially help manage these symptoms. However, the research in this area is still relatively sparse, and other treatments are usually first line for ADHD. Adrafinil should only be considered under the guidance of a healthcare professional. Lastly, there may be applications for Adrafinil outside of clinical conditions. For example, shift workers or those who need to stay alert for long periods might find Adrafinil useful for combating fatigue and maintaining cognitive performance. So whether it's a medical condition like narcolepsy or ADHD, or simply a need to enhance cognitive performance during periods of prolonged wakefulness, Adrafinil has potential applications that make it a valuable tool in the realm of nootropics. We've talked a lot about the benefits and potential uses of Adrafinil, but you may be wondering, is there any concrete evidence supporting these claims? Let's explore some of the research and testimonials that illustrate Adrafinil's effectiveness. A study published in the Journal of Pharmacology found that rats given Adrafinil were able to perform tasks more accurately than their non-dosed counterparts. Although this is an animal study, it does show promise for the cognitive enhancing effects of Adrafinil. In another study conducted on humans in psychiatry and clinical neurosciences, older participants who were given Adrafinil showed improvements in memory, mood, and alertness over a 3-month period. There's also a wealth of anecdotal evidence from users on various online forums and communities. Many users report a noticeable increase in wakefulness and focus. One user described Adrafinil as a game changer for long workdays, while another credited the nootropic for improved mental clarity during exam periods. So far, we've talked a lot about the cognitive benefits of Adrafinil, but did you know that it may also have other benefits not directly related to cognition? Let's dive into some of these potential additional perks of this fascinating nootropic. A very common one that users often report is a noticeable boost in energy. Adrafinil's stimulating properties can make you feel more energetic, helping to combat fatigue and tiredness. This doesn't come with the crash that many people experience with caffeine or other traditional stimulants, making it a potentially more sustainable choice for those seeking long-lasting energy. In addition, some users report improved mood when taking Adrafinil. This mood-boosting effect could be linked to its influence on dopamine, a neurotransmitter heavily involved in our brain's reward and pleasure centers. It's important to note that this effect can vary between individuals and may depend on the dosage and your personal body chemistry. Lastly, there are reports of Adrafinil potentially aiding in stress reduction. By promoting better focus and mental clarity, it may help individuals to manage their tasks more efficiently, leading to decreased stress levels. However, this benefit should be seen as more of an indirect one, as Adrafinil is not a primary treatment for stress or anxiety. These additional benefits can make Adrafinil an attractive option for people looking for a more well-rounded cognitive enhancer. While Adrafinil does have many potential benefits, it's important to be aware of the potential side effects as well. Like any supplement or medication, Adrafinil is not without its risks. Common side effects include headache, nausea, and nervousness. These symptoms are usually mild and often diminish as your body adjusts to the supplement. However, if these symptoms persist or become severe, it's recommended that you stop taking Adrafinil and consult with a healthcare provider. Some users also report experiencing insomnia or difficulty sleeping when taking Adrafinil. This is likely due to its stimulant properties and can usually be managed by taking the supplement earlier in the day and not close to bedtime. A less common but potentially serious side effect is skin reactions. While rare, some individuals have reported developing skin rashes or other skin problems while taking Adrafinil. If you notice any changes in your skin after starting Adrafinil, seek medical attention immediately. Finally, it's worth noting that prolonged use of Adrafinil can potentially lead to elevated liver enzymes as it's metabolized in the liver. This isn't usually an issue with short-term use, but if you're considering taking Adrafinil long-term, regular blood tests to monitor your liver function are recommended. Now that we've covered both the benefits and potential side effects of Adrafinil, let's talk about dosage and administration. How much should you take, and when is the best time to take it? Adrafinil is usually taken orally in capsule or powder form. The most common dosage is between 100 to 300 milligrams per day. It's generally recommended to start with the lower end of this range to assess your tolerance and then adjust as necessary. Given its stimulating properties, Adrafinil is typically taken in the morning to avoid interfering with sleep. It's also usually taken on an empty stomach to enhance absorption. If you're planning to use Adrafinil long term, it's a good idea to cycle your usage. This means taking it for a certain period, then taking a break for a similar period. Before we wrap things up, it's crucial to touch on the legal status of Adrafinil in various regions around the world. This is especially important if you're considering buying and using this supplement. Let's start with the United States. Adrafinil is not regulated by the FDA, meaning it is legal to buy, possess, and use without a prescription. However, it is not approved as a dietary supplement, so it can't be marketed or sold as such. In Canada, Adrafinil is also unregulated, which means it's legal to buy and possess. However, it's not approved by Health Canada for medical use. Moving on to the United Kingdom, Adrafinil falls into a grey area. It's not a controlled substance, so it's not illegal to possess, but it's also not licensed as a medication, so it can't be sold within the UK. However, you can legally import it for personal use. Australia is a bit stricter. Adrafinil is classified as a Schedule 4 drug, which means it's only available with the prescription. And in most European Union countries, Adrafinil is either prescription only or not legally available. These are just a few examples, and the legal status can vary greatly from one country to another. So, if you're thinking about trying Adrafinil, it's important to research the legal regulations in your specific region to avoid any legal issues. As we move towards the conclusion of this video, I'd like to share my own experience with Adrafinil. Now, remember, this is purely anecdotal and your experience may differ from mine. I started taking Adrafinil during a particularly demanding period at work when I was struggling to stay focused and alert throughout the day. I began with a dose of 100 milligrams taken in the morning. Over the first week, I noticed a clear improvement in my alertness and energy levels, and I felt less fatigued by the end of the day. I also noticed a subtle improvement in my cognitive abilities. I found it easier to focus on complex tasks, and my decision-making felt sharper. As for side effects, I did experience some slight headaches during the first few days, but they quickly subsided. After the initial week, I increased my dosage to 200 milligrams, and the positive effects continued without any additional side effects. I've been cycling my usage to prevent tolerance, and so far, Adrafinil has been a helpful tool for me during challenging work periods. To reiterate my personal experience with Adrafinil, the effects were predominantly positive. The increased wakefulness and energy were the most noticeable changes. There was a significant difference in how I felt throughout the workday. I was more alert, less prone to afternoon slumps, and generally more focused. The cognitive benefits, while subtler, were also beneficial. The enhancement in focus and decision-making really made a difference in my productivity and quality of work. And while it's hard to objectively measure, I felt as though my memory was sharper during the period I was taking Adrafinil. As we come to the close of this video, I'd like to share my personal opinion on the use of Adrafinil as a nootropic. Based on both my personal experience and the available research, I believe Adrafinil can be a powerful tool for enhancing cognition and promoting wakefulness. Its potential benefits, including increased focus, memory enhancement, and improved alertness, can be particularly beneficial during periods of high mental demand or when combating fatigue. However, I strongly advocate for a responsible approach to using any nootropic, Adrafinil included. This means starting with a low dose, monitoring your body's response, and seeking advice from a healthcare provider. It's also essential to consider the potential side effects and to take breaks from usage to prevent tolerance buildup and protect your liver health. In conclusion, I see Adrafinil as a potentially valuable tool in our cognitive enhancement toolbox, but as with any tool, it should be used responsibly and judiciously. Before we sign off, I want to mention that if you're interested in learning more about biohacking, nootropics, and overall health optimization, I've written several books on these topics. These books delve deeper into various strategies and supplements for enhancing cognitive performance, optimizing health, and living a more vibrant life. You'll find links to these books in the video description below. They're packed with research-backed information and practical tips that you can implement in your own life. So do check them out if you're curious and want to learn more. It's my hope that these resources will empower you to take charge of your health and cognitive performance and inspire you to explore the exciting world of biohacking and nootropics further. Thanks again for tuning in. Don't forget to like this video, share it with friends who might find it helpful, and subscribe to the channel for more insightful content. Stay healthy, stay focused, and see you in the next video.